Hi everybody, this is Angie from Tourangie.com, and today I'm still on Route 219. I'm now in Greenbrier County, and this is Ronceverte, West Virginia. If you took the little road that cuts over there to the left, we just passed it, it would take you to a roundabout way to a covered bridge. It's one of two covered bridges in Greenbrier County. We're going to take a right here, though. We're crossing the Greenbrier River, and we're taking a right here because this is a cute little park. There's a splash pad. There's a little baseball field, Island Park, and of course, it's right along the Greenbrier River. So this is a pretty cool place to come, just fishing, whatever. There's some trails and stuff. It's a small little park. You can see right there, I kind of pulled over so you could see the Greenbrier River over there on the right. I hope you got a little bit of a look at it. But it's just a small park. Nothing too major, but there is a baseball field here, some picnic tables or shelters, different things. So, but the Greenbrier River is right in behind there. So we're going to talk a little bit about Ronceverte since we are here today, driving up Route 219. Um, this town, Ronceverte, it's like, how in the world did it come up with this name? Well, it's French. So, if you think about the word Greenbrier, Greenbrier River was named before the county. And Ronceverte, if you break it apart, Ronce means briar, the rest of it means green. So, briar green in French, Ronceverte. So, there you go. That's how Ronceverte got its name. The person that named it that was actually a business person, Cecil Clay. And he was in the area. He was an entrepreneur in the area. He was the president of the St. Lawrence Boom and Manufacturing Company. And he had said that he had seen the name on an old map, but he just thought he liked the name Ronceverte, and was said to have said that he could people here could change the name once the town became incorporated if they wanted to, but they never changed the name. So that was the story, one of the stories I read about it. I've seen that on Wikipedia, and then I looked at another website and it said something about that too. So I figured I would mention him. But Cecil Clay was one of the people that helped to, well, build this area. There was a lot of people with the last name of Edgar, so that was a common name. So it was thought that the name would actually be changed to Edgar after it fully became established, and that was in April 1st of 1882. So pretty neat information there. The population in this area was at its highest between like the 1910 to 1950, basically. Right now, the population is about 1,500 that live in the city. But there was a little bit of a boom in 1980. There was a decent amount of population here, too. It's really close to Lewisburg, extremely close to Fairleigh, West Virginia, where the state fair is located. It's just up the road on 219 there. But it's a cute little town. We're going to drive through the Main Street area after I get out of the park. I'm going to show off the little splash pad over here on the right just a second. But the railroad is, well, this is basically a railroad town, just a tiny little railroad town. And the railroad helped to, bring life to this little community or town back in the day. So did timber. Timbering was a really big thing here in the area too. But C&O lines on the railroad connected Pocahontas County, West Virginia to Hinton. Hinton's in Summers County. I've done a video on Hinton. That's a railroad hub, basically. And it's not terribly far away, especially not driving the country roads to get to it, but it's not far at all, just one county over. So C&O lines help connect this area to Hinton all the way to Clifton Forge, Virginia. And basically, limestone quarries were really common in this area. And we've talked about limestone in the past. Think about a video from a couple days ago I did talking about caves. Well, limestone is important. Think about the sulfur springs that are around. Well, limestone's important with that too. So Ronceverte is basically known for, or also called, the gravel Gertie. It's part of the gravel Gertie because of this limestone, the limestone quarries and the trains that sent the limestone. One of the things that I should mention now before we get too deep in the video, back there, I don't know, towards the beginning of the video when I said if you take a left to go down that road, you'll come to a covered bridge at some point. That's also known as Rockland Road. There used to be the Rockland Depot out there, and that was like a little train stop. And it's, basically lost in time, lost in history. There's no real information about it, nothing. There are not even any pictures anybody could find, or I couldn't find anyway. But World War II, German prisoners of war, yes, were transported on the railroad to that Rockland Depot area. And they were used on local farms for farming projects and different things, agricultural wise. I thought that was really interesting piece of history that nobody ever realizes. So that was back at World War II. But that was the Rockland Depot. So if you went on that road that I pointed out back at the beginning of the video and said, hey, you take a left to go to that covered bridge, it's one little road and then it turns into Rockland. So somewhere on that road, somewhere down that road, that was the Rockland Depot. So we're going up 219, but you're going to see the video turn right back around here in just a second, and we're going to cut back through some of the main streets in behind that Main Street area. Right beside the railroad, if you take a left, which you'll see in the video that I do take a left, you follow that road out a good bit. Here we're stopping at the stop sign, but I'm coming down here behind this downtown area. There's a sign that points to different places to do different things different ways, and it talks about the railroad, uh, go left or whatever. So I went left for a ways. And I really wasn't seeing anything. And maybe, yeah, I know, I probably should have done a lot more research. But this road right here, I stay on it for a little bit and then I turn around and come back through some houses over here on the left. But if you stay on this road, there is like an old cave tunnel that the railroad used to go through. So I thought that was pretty neat. It doesn't appear, well, it's not like operational anymore, but it is out there. So that's pretty neat. But I don't go near far enough to get to it. I found that out after making this video because I just wasn't seeing anything. I was like, well, let me just turn around. So if you stayed on this and went out for a while, you would come to it. So one thing that's important to mention, any little town or city or anything that's close to a river, you know what happens. There's some point there's always flooding. And the Greenbrier has flooded plenty of times, but there have been several major ones, but three that were unbelievable. 1985, 1996, and 2016. Those were rough floods for this area. So, and I mean, there's been flooding this. I'm not specifically sure if it was right here in Ronceverte, but the Greenbrier flooded this year already too. So it's obviously if you're near a river, there's a chance of flooding, and this one has flooded several times. But let's talk about the outdoor amphitheater and a drama that gets put on, a historical drama. It's based on a book written about Pocahontas County, actually, but it's called The Riders of the Flood. And it's basically, the theme is a demonstration of Ronceverte's importance in the turn of the 20th century when its St. Lawrence Boom and Lumber Company was the largest softwood mill in the country. And it traces its industry to Ronceverte, which is part here on the Greenbrier River. But basically, there is that outdoor drama. It happens every September. And there's even a sequel to it called Big Dreams and Restless Spirits, or The Restless Spirit. So I thought that was really neat. The amphitheater here, they do this play, and it's mainly like volunteer basis. So all proceeds go back to this town. So I thought that was really neat. And of course, being by the river, you got to have a river festival. They do that during the summer here, so I thought that was pretty neat. One thing I did learn, actually, I learned this from Wikipedia. There was a song, "The Pretty Girl of Ronceverte." It was written by Thomas Thaxton, and the music by Charles Pratt. And this was back late 1880s. I thought that was pretty neat. Um, Wikipedia says that the music is on display at the Ronceverte Public Library, so that's pretty cool. So we have basically just driven around a little bit of Ronceverte here, back up and down Main Street around this circle. I'm cutting right. I can cut right, get back to Main Street, which I end up doing, or cut right here and then take a little left and end up at that park we were earlier. So it's just a little town, cute little town. Uh, just thought I would share it off here on my drive of Route 219, um, where I'm been making these videos the past few days. So this is Angie from Tourangie.com. I hope you've enjoyed this little video, and we're going to continue on driving north on 219 to Fairleigh and Lewisburg. Then I end up going over on I think it's Route 60 or 61 to White Sulphur Springs. We're going to do a Greenbrier video. So I will talk to you all later. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. Sorry, I shut off my editing. Like I was stopping. I was going to stop talking, and I didn't even realize that I was still going down the street here in Ronceverte. So I like got another minute and a half I could talk. So sorry about that. It's what happens when I edit later and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing when I edit my voice in. But there are walking tours available through here and different things if you're interested. And there's some neat, beautiful houses, Gothic style houses, some churches, and you can see at the end of this video across the street. I don't touch any of those streets over there, basically across on the other side of Main Street. I don't. That's where a lot of houses and different things are. But you can see a school that looks pretty neat. Um, so yeah, there's more to Ronceverte than basically of the basics of what I'm showing you through here, my little tiny drive. But I'm going to continue going on Route 219 North, so no more for the Ronceverte video. I was glad to be able to show it to you, just a little bit of it anyway. Okay, now we're about done, so I will talk to you all later.